Hey friends, today we are going to be looking at ranking and analyzing all of the Mario Super Sluggers captain teams. These teams mostly have a presence in story mode, where each of the characters unlocks in the stadium overworld of their respective captain team. Now, every single character in this game belongs to at least one of the 6 main captain teams. And those captain teams include the Mario Fireballs, Peach Monarchs, Yoshi Eggs, Wario Muscles, DK Wilds, and Bowser Monsters. And each of them also have a sub-captain on them that has their own team name when they lead the team as well, making up the 12 captains in the game. Each of the captain teams has more than 9 characters, but any subset of the 9 characters can be chosen to represent each captain team. So today we will be choosing the very best team that can be made with each of those, and what lineup you'd have, and what fielding positions each character would get, and then we're going to be ranking all of them from worst to best. So sit tight, let's do it. In 6th place, we have the Yoshi Eggs. They are just not particularly powerful, and as it says in the descriptor here, they rely on their great team speed, which is truly the only thing they can really rely on, because their chemistry is not very good, their defense is okay with Yoshi and Birdo, but there's just nothing in particular that makes them that special, and Yoshi's a great captain, but doesn't have a very good captain team. The offense is really bad, and outside of Birdo and Wiggler, you're going to be relying on whatever star power you have left. And then number 5, we have the Wario Muscles, an odd, tricky bunch. They have very good defense, but they really also have a significantly lacking offense. And beyond Wario and King Boo, there really isn't much that you can say. With their floating characters, they do a pretty good job against Daisy Star Swing, Bowser Jr. Star Swing, and the POW block. But other than that, they're basically just a standout few characters with a bunch of Bowser's minions otherwise. Now we're going to look at the best character selection, lineup, and fielding positions for these two teams. And so for Wario's team, we'd go Wario and Waluigi and King Boo, all pretty decent characters for that team. And then we're just pretty much going to end up going with all of the Bowser's minions, Paratroopa, Paragoomba, etc. Just because they do have pretty good chemistry with each other, which is a very important thing for this team, being able to get those items off. And in Yoshi's, we have Yoshi and Birdo, again, very strong. A few random selections, or seemingly random, but it's really just some of the better Yoshis and the better Shy Guys, really, for what we're looking for. Although you could switch those around depending on your preferences, and then Wiggler for the hitting power. So we're looking at Wario as a good catcher, and then Waluigi's a very strong pitcher. Goomba isn't great at first, same with Koopa at second, but you don't have a ton of great choices here, especially since you do kind of want to save some flying for other positions. King Boo is good at third because of the size, and then we just have chemistry for buddy jumps in the outfield, but there's a lot that could be filled with here. So that is really just up to you. And then for the lineup, probably going to start off with King Boo for a decent bat, and even though King Boo is totally isolated with chemistry, he is such a good character in general with the pitching and hitting strength that, you gotta include him anyway. Boo just doesn't really make sense for the team because Boo's, we have a good number of pitchers anyway. Then Wario and Waluigi are also isolated. Wario needs the chemistry a little bit more because of the use of the Star Swing, and then honestly, as long as you have chemistry for the last 6, you're going to be just fine, really. Like, their lineup order does not specifically matter in any particular way. And for Yoshi's side, ultimately we're actually going to put Green Shy Guy as pitcher, being the best Shy Guy for pitching, Gray Shy Guy as catcher, and we've got a couple Yoshis at first and second base, Shy Guy at shortstop, just because we do need to save some Yoshis for the outfield, because you don't really want a 4 Yoshi team, really. They're just that bad at hitting. And then for the lineup, starting off with Wiggler for the hitting skills again, and then just trying to get as much chemistry as you can here in the ranks. Other Yoshis need the chemistry more than Green Yoshi, though, because of the star hit. So overall, these two teams are somewhat lackluster in terms of the options provided for what you can use, and none of them have particularly strong characters outside of a few very good ones. Like, I mean, the best character in the game, according to our most recent tier list at least, is Yoshi, and he is at the helm of the worst captain team. So that just goes to show how that works out. The Mario Fireballs are well balanced. The game gets it right. They do have 4 pretty bad characters, being Monty the Babies and Blooper, but otherwise, you know, decent. Blooper can even be brought in as a good 9th character for his okay pitching skills and the fact that he's a flying character, which is quite nice. But yeah, so you have Mario, who's quite strong at most things, and you have the Piantas, who are pretty good at hitting, and your defense is okay with the Nokis with Ball Dash, but there's nothing in particular, neither offense or defense, that is outstandingly good, and you can craft a better team with each of the 3 captain teams above it. So that's why the Mario Fireballs get 4th, even though they're really not bad. And finally, a DK team that actually does well in a ranking. The DK Wilds have really good chemistry, except for one missing chemistry link in the bad chemistry, and they have a decent amount of power with the fact that you can take so many critters. They do have the similar pitching issues to the Mario Fireballs, unfortunately, but they're really not bad, and you have a very strong infield, especially with the critters, which is very nice. So, DK Wilds, they're deserving of the top 3. So, on the DK team, we are now going to be looking at who we would choose for our 9 players. And we are going to choose almost all the Kongs just for the chemistry benefits, although we are going to leave out Baby DK because he just isn't that good and doesn't really have a place on this team, regrettably enough. And besides that, we're going for all the best critters. Blue Critter really isn't that good, so. But again, your mileage may vary, so yeah. But then for the Mario team, we are going to, again, go with the 8 actually good characters, who are all the Nokis, all the Piantas, Mario, Luigi, and then Blooper for a little bit of extra pitching help. And as for the fielding, for the DK Wilds team, we are looking at Donkey Kong as catcher, just because he has no running speed whatsoever. Tiny is actually an okay pitcher. And then, of course, K. Rool at first can really tank some of those fast-moving balls, if you catch my drift. And then Critter infield is just busted, as we all know. And then we have the Kongs with chemistry for the outfield for the buddy jumps. And although the lineup is almost entirely chemistry dependent, I think that the best lineup would probably look something like this. So, yeah. Debate in the comments below, what do you think? As for all the lineups as well. And hey, we gotta do the Mario team too, right? One way or another. The best pitcher is, again, probably Blooper. Even though Mario and Luigi can pitch pretty decently, they do get predictable. Blooper does too with his one-trick pony deal, but yeah. Any Pianta will do as a catcher, and then probably Piantas at first and third as well for the absorption of those fast-moving charge swings. And then Nokis at shortstop and second for their ball dash abilities, and then you just got to have the chemistry in the outfield. And as for lineup, Luigi and Mario, pretty solid start to the lineup, and then alternating the Nokis and the Piantas. We decided to color match them here just because we thought it'd be kind of cute. And then probably Blooper last because no chemistry link or anything, so yeah. Overall, these captain teams are where it starts to get pretty good, and if you choose from them in your actual gameplay, you will probably be doing just fine. There's not a ton to complain about them, other than really the lack of pitcher who is amazing in either team. It's kind of funny because for 3 of the captain teams, Yoshi, Mario, and DK, there really aren't any amazing pitchers. They're all confined to Wario and then the top 2. Wonder which, those 2 will be. But anyway, let's get into it and see what are the best captain teams. Number 2 goes to the Peach Monarchs. It's not really close between number 1 and number 2, but the Peach Monarchs are still a very strong team. The Toads are all very, very good dinger hitters. Daisy and Peach and Petey are top tier players, hyper specialized in the case of Peach and Petey, and then Daisy is an amazing, well-rounded character. And then Toadsworth is pretty bad, and the babies are pretty bad, and Toadette's just okay, but at very least, the 2 Toads of the group do have good chemistry with the rest of the actual proper Toads, and Baby Peach is good at pitching. Baby Daisy doesn't really fit into the team per se, but the Peach Monarchs are quite strong, and you can make a good team with them. Oh yeah, baby, it's the Bowser team, and they are by far the best team. Although if you disagree with that, I'd love to hear your case for it in the comments. So, yeah. But in terms of hitting and general offense, they are amazing because they have great chemistry. They have Bowser and the Dry Bones and the Hammer Bros, who are all amazing at hitting. And in terms of pitching, they have the Magic Koopas, who are fabulous. You have the Super Dive ability on the Magic Koopas and the Hammer Bros. You have some questionable star swings, but then you won't really be hurting for star per se, so you can use it where you really need it. The Bowser monsters, almost every character on this team is good. In fact, I would say pretty much every single one is definitely usable, and you can craft a team in many different ways with them. So, yeah. Alrighty, so let's think about the lineup and the fielding positions that we would go with for these teams. And obviously, we are going with Bowser for the Bowser monsters, and Bowser Jr. as well, because very good chemistry. Bowser Jr. is a strong character. A few Magic Koopas for the pitching, a few Dry Bones, and a few Hammer Bros. All 3 Hammer Bros, actually, we are going to select because they really are just that good. Alright, so for the Peach Monarchs, we're going with Peach and Daisy because they're very strong. Every Toad but Red Toad, because Red Toad is unfortunately the worst Toad. Toadette and Toadsworth for the chemistry, and Petey because he's Petey. Now, as for the fielding positions, Bowser makes for a good catcher just because Bowser's quite slow. Magic Koopa is obviously an amazing pitcher. Either Magic Koopa will be okay. The Dry Bones are pretty decently sized and make for good first and third basemen. Hammer Bros are pretty good outfielders. You could go with any one of them. The Hammer Bro orientation doesn't matter. And then as for the Peach Monarchs fielding, we are probably going to put Petey at shortstop because of that super dive. Same with Daisy. Toadsworth kind of sucks, so he's going to be the catcher, pretty much the worst in the team. We have the Toads for the chemistry for the outfield and also the first and second base. And now looking at the lineup, you want to start off with a very good home run hitter, which means that Yellow Toad is going to be a good one to start with. Toadsworth just for some of the chemistry. And then Green Toad. It's not bad. Toadette, again, for the chemistry, you want to alternate. And then we'll put Peach in there. You can get a nearly perfect lineup of chemistry here, except for Petey, who, despite not having any chemistry on the team, is just that good. So, really makes up for it. And on the Bowser side, again, putting the dinger hitter in the front, making sure that you have characters who then have a chemistry partner immediately after them, and if they have a strong star swing, then it doesn't matter as much for chemistry purposes. Same general rules for the lineup construction, although if you want to see what our lineup that we would have chosen is, here you go. So that was our ranking and analysis of the captain teams in Mario Super Sluggers, and we've been meaning to make this video for a while, so we're glad that we could finally get around to it and take a look at them. All of them were pretty not obvious, except for the worst and the best. So really our ranking could have gone a number of different ways, and we're excited to hear what your opinions are of each of the various teams and what your reasoning for it is. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, of course it is a bit cliche, but very nice when you do like and comment and subscribe, because we are getting so close to 10,000 subscribers, and that would just be a dream to achieve that. So we'll see you all in the next video. Take care. Peace.